FIFA just changed a rule at this World Cup that nobody's talking about, and when you find out what it is, you're going to think it's a joke. It's not. It came from one of the most controversial moments in European football this year. One incident, one player, one covered mouth, and football will never be the same again. February 17th, 2026, Lisbon. Champions League, Real Madrid versus Benfica. During the match, Benfica forward Gianluca Prestiani got into a confrontation with Vinicius Jr. and covered his mouth with his jersey while saying something directly at the Brazilian. Vinicius immediately told officials he had been racially abused. Kylian Mbappe backed his Real Madrid teammate, saying he heard Prestiani call Vinicius a racial slur 5 times. Prestiani denied it, and because his mouth was covered, nobody could prove a thing. UEFA eventually handed Prestiani a 6-game ban, but specifically for homophobic discrimination, not racism, because the racial abuse could not be proven, not because it did not happen, because a shirt over a mouth made it impossible to verify. That loophole, that deliberate, calculated loophole, is what broke FIFA's patience. FIFA President Gianni Infantino made his position clear immediately. If a player covers his mouth and says something with a racist consequence, he has to be sent off. There must be a presumption that he said something he should not have, otherwise why would he cover his mouth? FIFA's chief refereeing officer Pierluigi Collina confirmed it officially. Referees will now show a red card to any player who covers their mouth with their hands, shirt, or any other object during a confrontational exchange. The rule has one exception. If the conversation is friendly, for example, 2 club teammates facing each other for their national teams, players can cover their mouths freely. But the moment any hint of confrontation appears, it could be a red card. Straight red. No second chance. Gone. And here's where it gets genuinely complicated, because not everyone thinks this is a good idea. Critics warn that players sometimes cover their mouths for tactical privacy, not abuse. A manager sending instructions through a player, 2 teammates coordinating a set piece. The rule, they argue, is too subjective, entirely dependent on a referee's interpretation of intent in real time. And Infantino's concept of presumption of guilt is a genuinely controversial legal principle to introduce into sport. You are assumed guilty unless proven innocent. Cover your mouth during any argument and the referee decides your fate on the spot. No replay, no review. Just a red card and a walk to the tunnel. At a World Cup where one red card can eliminate a nation, that is an enormous amount of power to hand to a single official's split-second judgment. Football has been trying to solve its racism problem for decades, and this rule, however controversial, sends the clearest message the sport has ever sent. Hide your words and face the consequences. Whether it works, whether it's fair, whether it changes anything at all, we're about to find out. On the biggest stage in the world, starting in 4 days. What do you think about this? Do you think it's ridiculous, or that it makes perfect sense?